TyePod, hosted by your friendly neighborhood PhD. Hey everybody, it's another episode of the TyePod, and today I'm joined by Julianna Hansen, who has experience with spinal cord injury, and I know we'll talk a little bit about your story and experience there, but also I really like to focus on other areas that make us unique people. So I'm looking forward to just getting to know you and sharing that with the audience. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah. So first, I was going to give you a chance just to talk a little bit about you and kind of any highlights or any things that you want to mention, kind of right off the bat.
Okay. I Great question. So yeah, my name's Julianna. I've been paralyzed coming up on 4 years here in November. I was paralyzed in a diving accident out in Hawaii. My coworker, friend, and I were working out there
Mhm.
for because we're remote and we're just having fun.
Yeah.
And I hope it's okay that I'm jumping into this right away.
No, go. That's
Okay.
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And we had just gone skydiving that morning. Afterwards, we were going to meet one of my friends
Mhm.
and they were taking forever. So we hung out on the beach. We met some locals. We got invited to like a softball
Nice.
tournament that night. And then we were going to island hop the next day to Maui to meet some of my friends. So we were just having like the best day.
Mhm.
And we're still waiting and waiting for my friend. They're not showing up. So the sun's starting to set. So we're like, all right, like we're going to go.
Yeah.
We hop into the truck. I literally just turned it on and they texted me saying that they're on their way. So we're like, okay, well, let's wait.
Mhm.
And then we were just sitting on the beach waiting for that person to show up. And I was like, okay, why are we on Instagram? Like, this is so dumb. Let me
Yeah.
go in for just one last dip. And at this location, like, you could run in and just dive into the waves, and it was like over your head. I made the mistake of not going in prior. I just assumed it was exactly the same from a couple months ago. We were in the exact same spot.
Mhm.
So I don't know if it was the location I was in, the misjudgment of like the depth of the wave. I don't know. So I
Was
kind of,
like, could tide have been any part of it? Would that affect the water level or anything?
yeah,
Or
maybe it was like the tide level. And
yeah.
that's actually a really great point. I didn't even think of that. Um, but yeah, I kind of did like a Baywatch little jog and dive.
Mhm.
And I dove and I instantly knew I was paralyzed. Like everything went fuzzy. I opened my eyes right away.
Was it underwater? Like when you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. Underwater. I didn't hear like a pop or a snap or anything like that. It just
Yeah.
everything went fuzzy. It didn't hurt, which was crazy.
Yeah. What was
Um,
that sensation? Had to be so alarming to feel that.
yeah, weird. But
So do you think you hit like something hard in the water, or was it just like the angle that I guess no way to know really.
yeah, I it was the angle. I hit the sand at the bottom and
Oh, okay.
broke it. So I snapped my C5. Um, and I instantly knew I was paralyzed, but in my mind I was like, you're not paralyzed. You just like you pinched a nerve, kind of like when you wear high heels and your toes go numb.
Mhm.
It'll come back. Even though I couldn't move anything at all. And then I was like, okay, how do I get people's attention? Because my girlfriend was on the beach on Instagram.
Mhm.
I wasn't really by anyone. Okay, let me like blow bubbles in the like not thinking I was in the ocean and there was a
Right.
motion above. So I like screamed. And with that, I inhaled water. So that wasn't a great feeling. That was also weird.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, well, I'm probably going to drown. And
Mhm.
I was preparing myself to drown, but then a stranger saw me and pulled me out of the water. And when he did, I immediately yelled, I'm like, call 911.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they dragged
Well,
me out
that
of the
was
water.
super lucky that there was somebody like,
Yeah. Super lucky someone was there.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, the experience itself, it was not like I'm not traumatized from it.
Mhm.
I think my girlfriend who was with me probably is more traumatized than what I am.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I would say like the whole experience in my time within the first few months, I was very muted or like numb,
Mhm.
especially that first month. You can
Can't
hear,
imagine.
yeah, I'm like thankful that I was numb. I'm like, I'm just going to take it one day at a time. There's literally nothing else I can do.
Right. Right. Well, that's interesting that that was kind of, it almost seems like that was already there the minute it happened in a way,
Hmm. No, it
which,
was.
yeah, yeah. It has like during this whole process, like learning to kind of deal with your new normal, like has there been any point where you felt any sort of trauma or has it just been like, just go with the flow and take each thing as it comes and go from there?
Great question. I wouldn't say that go with the flow. I mean, like that's how I kind of live life in general, like
Yeah.
now, now. But after it happened, like after that first month when I was then, so I was in Hawaii for a month at just like the level above the ICU.
Okay.
Um, and then I was transferred to Craig Hospital, which the insurance wouldn't approve the payment to transfer me from Hawaii to the Craig Hospital.
Ooh.
And like my blood pressure was absolutely horrendous. I couldn't sit up, so I
Mhm.
couldn't take a commercial flight. It had to be private. What a sticker
Oh,
shock that was. So that was $70,000 out of pocket,
really? Just
more than
to,
my college education.
wow. And that was just like almost right after it happened, you're facing that kind of
Yeah,
financial, wow. I can't even imagine like how is there not a way to make that transfer without paying that? Wow, that's insane.
yeah. Even though we looked into it and we thought it was covered, yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't. It was out of pocket. But luckily, I have really great friends who
Mhm.
put on an amazing fundraiser where we're able to raise enough money to cover the cost. Luckily, but then yeah, once I got to Craig Hospital, I definitely went into some major depression, crying every single day. I could not handle being on social media. Like my phone was non-existent because everything I saw reminded me of being, I don't want to call it normal, but being my prior self.
That old version of you, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so everything made me sad. People walking down the street made me sad. People traveling made me sad. And so I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Even though that would have been the time to really share my story because I had a lot of people invested.
Yeah.
And I know a couple other quadriplegics who were injured around the same time.
Okay.
They are younger and they really, did social media through the whole thing
Yeah.
and have quite a following. Not to compare myself, but I'm like, oh, I wish I would have done that because
Yeah. Yeah.
I've just watched what that has provided them, the opportunities. So I need to find social media as a new hobby,
Hmm.
something I'm seriously working on.
It's
But
very different. I mean, that approach to it is so different than when, even looking on my experience, like my impression of social media was, completely different, not even related to any kind of advocacy or sharing stories or anything like that.
yeah,
So that had to be like I mean, I'm sure that takes time and it will take more time to get used to that probably.
definitely. I think throughout your whole lifetime, being in our position is just going to be a constant adaptation.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Mhm.
exactly. I mean, I think so much of the disability community is that way, and it's like beyond the individual diagnosis. I think it's like we all kind of have that reinvention project going on constantly with, all of the disability related things.
Yeah,
So like for your rehab and everything, like was there a moment where you felt like you were kind of coming out of that state and kind of just, kind of looking ahead at what you maybe wanted to do next, or like what was it kind of a gradual like comeback, I guess?
great question. So I was in rehab, like inpatient for about 3 months.
Hmm.
And it wasn't until kind of towards the end of it where my counselor was saying like, maybe you need additional help from medication.
Hmm.
And I like before I was always a positive person. I pride myself in that. And so I kind of thought I would be cheating if I were to go on medication.
Hmm.
But honestly, it truly like saved my mental health. And I don't think there's anything wrong or
Right.
shameful about being on it, even though before, not that it was shameful in my mind, but I just thought it would be cheating.
Right.
But yeah, helped a ton. And that's how I kind of came out of it.
Yeah. Well, that's something I think looking back on, I felt like I was always, positive maybe to a fault sometimes, but it's,
Mhm.
there's that stigma just automatically with taking medicine for, any kind of mental health related things, it seems like, but
Yeah.
there shouldn't be. I mean, if it works and makes it, everything, good for you, or you can basically live your life and do things, to me, it's not such a negative anymore than,
Hmm.
it's just, I don't know, for whatever reason, it is like you said, it's like you're cheating or or doing something that's like sort of wrong in some way. But it's yeah. But I'm glad that that allowed you to kind of, you know, move to
Yeah.
the next stage of your recovery and everything.
Yeah. Crawling out of that, it just helped me crawl out of the hole
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So like what else was involved with the rehab part of it? Like I know from some of your posts you do have a power wheelchair and things like that, but like what was the kind of recovery and kind of learning to use adaptive equipment, things like that?
It was very interesting. During that time, I mean, it was sad.
Hmm.
And anyone who's gone through this would feel exactly the same.
Hmm.
The biggest thing with just like relearning everything was accepting how much longer it takes to do
Right.
everything. And I mean, we live in a place where it's like, and I had to stop comparing because I'm like, okay,
And
it
that's hard
used
to
to
do.
take me 5 minutes to do my makeup, wash my face,
Mhm.
do my makeup, and now it takes a half hour. Or now, I mean, now that I practice, I can get it done, within 10 minutes.
Right.
But like getting out of bed is, the
Hmm.
thing that takes forever. Staring up at the ceiling forever. And you're like,
Right. I know
so
the feeling.
yeah, that was the biggest adjustment. But I mean, I really love working with everyone, and
Mhm.
everyone that I've worked with is so amazing. Everyone at Craig. Then when I came back to Minnesota, some
Mhm.
outpatient there, my occupational therapist and PT, those women were amazing. I don't necessarily do any like occupational therapy
Mhm.
or physical therapy anymore, but I do work out at SEI Fitness in Arizona. Hey.
Okay. And is that's probably been going pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of my posts that you'll see recently working out,
Hmm.
that's where
Arizona
that
based.
happens. Mm-hmm.
Nice, nice.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I love working out.
Well,
Like,
that's something that's really interesting too, that having an SCI and everything, like working out is still, something that they can even dig into more in some ways, maybe.
yeah. Yeah. I'm lucky that I'm able to move my arm still.
Yeah.
So I loved working out beforehand also.
Hmm.
Lifting weights, cardio, no. And still
Yeah.
cardio, hate it.
But everything you're doing though, should like help long term too, I would think, with keeping kind of that strength that you
Yeah.
have right now.
Yeah, for sure. Working out is great. It's really weird. Like you wouldn't think necessarily just gaining more arm strength, but it makes you move just so much more and has given me more confidence
Mhm.
to just do things. Like, okay, go grab that. Like, don't have someone try and pick it up. Like you
Oh,
do
that's a good
it.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, like you do it. You can do it instead of
Well,
just
because it's important to maximize like the independence that you do
yeah,
have too.
yeah, there we go. It really helps with gaining confidence and to become more independent.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's really great that you found, that and that you can, is it a thing where you can, I guess, build muscle, or is it more just maintaining what's there? Like what's kind of
I think I think building muscle
okay.
because when I try and flex the guns,
Yeah.
they pop a little bit more
Hey,
when
there you
working
go.
out.
Hmm. Well, that's a very good thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's really great though that you found kind of that. I mean, it sounds like it's almost a community type thing too with Arizona where you're working out and everything. Um, like I'd like to kind of get into your like support system a little bit, like what
Mhm.
that looks like now, because I know that you mentioned your parents help you some, but then have you, I'm sure friends have come and done things. Like what's that kind of dynamic like for you now?
Yeah. I have a great support system. My family, like my parents, they're my main caregivers.
Hmm.
But when I was first injured, it was right at the end of COVID or kind of like the middle. So there was a lot of rules and restrictions
Mm.
still going on. But
Right.
I had my high school girlfriends fly out. I had my college girlfriends fly out. Everyone stayed a couple days. Everyone learned what to do.
Hmm.
Came to, getting into bed, getting out of bed, a bowel routine.
Hmm. Which
And
is a whole nother list of,
my God,
yeah,
it didn't even, who knew what a bowel program was? Like,
right. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. It's like you would never imagine that being a thing.
I know when my uh, caretaker came in at night when I was in the hospital and they were describing what they were going to do. And I was like, okay, so you're going to finger my asshole?
Right. That sounds fun.
He thought it was hilarious.
Not the experience that you think of when you're in the hospital.
No, not at all.
Yeah, wow. Well, that had to be a little bit uncomfortable too. deal with that, I would
Oh,
imagine.
for sure. I mean, and you probably know too, like just all
Yeah.
your bits hanging out
Yeah.
for everyone to see.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
And then when you're like, in my case, I remember a few times they actually had turned me almost upside down to do some different things. And it's like, the curtain is drawn, people. Like they're looking through the window here. Can you just give me a little bit of a little bit of cover?
privacy.
It's the
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah, I'm like, can I have some of my dignity back,
Like
please?
this, the show ain't free, people. Come on.
$5.
Hey, yep, yep. Yeah. Oh man. That's all the different medical routines and things you
Hmm.
go through with rehab. And then even, I don't know what it's like for you now. Like, do you have quite a bit of things you have to do just routinely on the medical side, or is it just more day to day, like living activities now?
Just living activities
Yeah. Which is enough.
and trying to move. I think that's like the biggest thing is we're so stationary,
Mm,
trying to make sure I'm doing my weight shifts, which I work remotely
mm.
and I'm in sales, so I'm on the phone all
Okay.
the time. And especially when you're talking to people, you forget. And then and then it's a couple hours and you're like, oh my God, my ass hurts so much.
That's
Like
true.
now I need to take like an extra long break by tilting backwards.
Yeah. That's another thing too. It's like, you never think, or I never did even as a kid, like repositioning and sitting in a different angle and all that stuff, was so huge. And I even at one point had a wheelchair that the cushion was really, really broken down. And every
Mhm.
10 to 15 minutes, I kid you not, I had to move. Like something was falling asleep or, it was just brutal and you can't get anything done in 15 minutes really, so it's just
Yeah.
this constant thing.
Yeah.
But
And I can't get rid of it.
yeah. And so like with your current job and everything, what was that like, finding work and kind of deciding where you wanted to go with that maybe after you got, back from rehab?
Yeah. I still work at the same company that I was with prior to my
Oh,
accident.
wow. Okay.
And I had about a year off,
Hmm.
a little bit over a year off. Um, and coming back, they were absolutely amazing. My support team, when it came to work,
Yeah.
phenomenal. Like,
So they were ready to adapt basically right with you then once you got back.
yeah,
See, that's a really rare thing too, I think. It's like, and then like working with, I guess, remote work and everything, was that something that they had offered before, or was it something that you all worked together to kind of decide that would be okay? Or,
COVID
gotcha.
decided that for us. It was in office beforehand, and then COVID hit,
Yeah.
and then we had to be remote, which is why I was out in Hawaii in the first
Yeah.
working remotely. Still amazing. I want to go back and do it again,
Yeah.
visit all the places, go skydiving again. But
Well, it's
uh,
all possible. It's just again takes extra steps in
time,
planning.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
money.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't um, my manager Danny and then my manager Joey, just amazing. They're like, don't worry about it. They texting my mom directly. They're like, we'll handle it. We'll
Yeah.
figure things out. And then coming back with doctor's notes, like I started gradually. Like the first 3 weeks, I think I only worked like an hour a day.
Hmm.
And then every week, like gaining an hour.
Just building up that endurance,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Hmm. And I don't work full time. I
Yeah.
work 4 days out of the week and then I work 7 hours
Okay.
a week.
What
So working
what what is it like for you being able to do that work still, like, after everything that happened, like still having the capacity to, be employed and do that kind of stuff? That has to feel pretty good, I would think.
yeah, I feel grateful that I'm able to work. I know it was a really big decision of whether or not to go back to work or not because disability and not having disability, like the weight of that and then like taxes and then
Oh man. Yeah.
paying for caregivers, like all the things
Which is
just
not covered by insurance usually.
no, stressful, like so
Yeah.
stressful. And I'm just such a social person and like super independent in my mind, like
Yeah.
beforehand,
Yep.
that I needed to go back to work.
Yeah.
So I have
Definitely.
tools like hand paddles to help me type, and then special hours. I don't work on Wednesdays, so I can give my body a break, which it definitely needs. Like
Mhm.
my arms get extremely tired from being on the keyboard, and
Right.
it can be
Right.
in quite a bit of pain. So breaks are needed. Breaks are
Yeah,
definitely
yep. And
needed.
like even positioning too is everything throughout the day. I've found, like if there's no movement, things are going to get really uncomfortable fast. And yeah, so as far as like the independence thing, just in general,
Mhm.
like what was it like for you to kind of be in a position where you had to go back home and ask your parents to help and live there basically. And then I mean just so many areas of independence are taken away when there's an injury like that. Like what
Ripped
how have you coped with that, I guess?
ripped away. It's
Yeah.
something I'm still adjusting. I am 33
Yeah.
and I do have protective parents. At least like my dad, he's overprotective.
Yeah.
Like
And that's
annoying
whatever age we
overprotective.
are, right?
Yeah. So a lot, I mean, a lot of the times, because I don't drive yet,
Yeah.
it is a goal of mine. But because I don't drive, I do rely on them for rides also.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I feel like a child. Like I feel like I'm 15 again,
Yeah.
which sucks.
That's that
Interferes
is
with like
hard.
dating. Uh, hey,
That's
dad,
one
can
of the
you drop me off
biggest
for a
ones.
date? Can you come pick me up?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
awkward.
What has that been like, that part of it? Like, is it something you kind of gradually get more comfortable navigating, or is it like awkward every time, basically?
Dating or what?
Yeah, or just any that or any social outing, anything in that area, you know?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's still a little awkward,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. Drop me off around the corner kind of thing.
Yep. Yep.
But I mean, whatever. A lot of the times, just like any type of dating nowadays, it's kind of just like one and done. So
Yep.
whatever. I don't care.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't care.
It's a hard space to navigate, you know, and like when you're in your mid 30s, that's kind of the major independent phase, it seems like, or
Mhm.
it is for a lot of people. So again, there's that comparison thing coming back in too, you know, that it feels like I know I've dealt with it and several others I've talked to. It's just
Mhm.
like how do you get out of that mindset, you know, and just accept, you know, like your specific situation and what your needs are. And I think that's kind of I don't know, maybe an enlightenment phase that we all have to go through with
Yeah.
disability. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the next step, for me is to learn to drive or like
Mm.
get into a van that I am able to drive. And I think
Mhm.
that would help a lot. But again, that's another big financial gouge in your wallet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, it's like the cost of a new vehicle plus all the adaptive equipment. And it's just like, I mean, for me, I've always just been like hunting Craigslist or something, trying to find, you know, something slightly used that still looks usable for, you know, a few 100,000 miles, hopefully. But it's new adaptive vans are just like, I mean, probably $100,000 or more. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah, and then as far as your power chair and everything, you probably work with a company that kind of customizes it for you and everything. What has that experience been like?
Yeah. I have New Motion
Yep,
is the company
that's the
that
one.
did my
Yep.
chair and customized it. I haven't really had any issues with it.
Mhm.
My backrest is a little wobbly right now, so I probably need to go in and get that fixed.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to the Phoenix Abilities Expo in
Okay.
2 weeks, so maybe they'll be able to fix it there.
Sounds possible.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna wait for that. But I haven't. Yeah, I don't know if my chair fits me as best
Yeah.
as it should. Like I feel like my arm rest should be maybe a little higher,
Hmm. There's
but
always tweaks like that, right? Seems like.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think when we were fitting my chair initially, I had some platform shoes on because if I wear shoes that don't have like an inch underneath it, it
Mhm.
feels too short. But I could be overthinking things. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that, you know, like the slightest add 5 degrees to the tilt or, you know, elevate something just a tiny amount. It's crazy how much that changes. I don't know, the way that you can use and function with the chair and everything. But what
Mm.
was it like learning to drive? Like, were there any interesting experiences with that? Like, I know for me, sometimes getting marks on the wall, you know, from scraping or anything like that. Was there any of that
Oh my
starting
God.
out?
Yeah. I can show you the scrapes on my wall. I have it literally on my wall for my back
Yep,
handles and then doorways, chips. I mean, you're
gone.
just going to have to accept that there's going to be dings all around the house.
Hmm.
I mean, you can only be so compact.
Right.
And the rest, I try to drive my best, but it just doesn't always work out that way.
And sometimes just the space alone, you know, makes it impossible. So
Hmm.
yeah. I was wondering because I think that's probably something a lot of us have had with the power chairs, trying to figure out how to navigate tight spaces. And I don't know, it almost feels like you need a license in a way to drive,
Yeah.
or some kind of training, like crash
Hmm.
course, wheelchair training. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's cool though. It sounds like, you know, it's kind of you've adapted to it though, and makes it where you can still do, you know, what you need to with everything. So that's really
Hmm.
nice to have. Um, Actually, I had a couple random questions I was wanting to ask you kind of.
Yeah, go for it.
So I saw one of your, I believe it was a reel on your social media with you dressed up as, was it Dr. Evil from Austin Powers?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got to know like what that, how you came up with the idea and like how you implemented it. Like how was that whole experience?
Yeah. When I was first in the chair,
Hmm.
my girlfriend Randy was visiting me and I just spun around because it was like a mid turn or mid whatever wheelchair.
Hmm.
And just that scene from Gold Member, Dr. Evil.
Hmm.
And I love Halloween. Like you can
Yeah.
go, scroll back and you can see some of my costumes. Like I used to make it. And I don't know. I just like, I'm like, and not like sexy is not necessarily like the type that I want to go. The
Hmm.
year before I was a toilet seat and I had so much fun with it.
That is so great.
Yeah. And then I was like, I don't know, let's do Austin Pot. Let's be bald. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was also super fun.
That was really well done. I was impressed for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, we could probably use the $1 million too, but yeah.
Wish I would.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very cool. And then the other thing I was curious about is I think there was a video of you with a balloon fiesta in Albuquerque at
Yes.
some point. Like what was that like? Because that's definitely my old stomping grounds kind of around that area. So I was curious
Hmm.
like what you thought of that whole experience.
It was really cool. I am. That was a high school girlfriends trip.
Okay.
We try to get together once a year, in person, whether
Mhm.
that is in Minnesota. We've done a couple trips,
Mhm.
and so that was our trip. Was out there.
Mhm.
We I so like I'm in Arizona, and it's not too far of a travel, like a flight.
Mhm.
And we wanted to figure out something. Like they're so amazing. They like they're considerate of my disability, but they don't want that to get interfere with anything.
Mhm.
And so that was a point. I'm like, okay, it's not too far. I can maybe try and fly out by myself, even though my girlfriends live in Minnesota. They were like, we'll come fly to Phoenix, have like
Mhm.
a layover there, and then fly out there with you. I was like, no, like, I've flown quite a bit now. I know what to do. Let me just try it because it's not that long of a flight.
Yeah.
So yeah, going there, it was really pretty. We went extra early to try and watch. What do they have it like a
Like the balloon,
drone?
like
Yeah, drone
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
We're all in our 30s. Like we slept in the car instead. We were so tired.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. 30s. It's an interesting time.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then it was cool. We're glad we did it.
Hmm.
It was a little windy that morning, so we weren't able to see some of the larger balloons.
Okay.
But yeah, incredible experience. Loved it.
Any interest in eventually trying to fly in one or something with the wheelchair?
Yeah,
Is that
I
something?
love it.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah,
I
that'd be
didn't real.
crazy.
I kind of thought about it, like, how do you get in and out? But I did see that there are special balloons
Yeah.
that have a spot like cut out so you can see.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm an adrenaline junkie
Yeah. And
to a certain degree.
you still
So
can have
yeah,
that, right?
yeah. So like, I want to go in the air balloon. I want to jump out of a plane. Let me be as, you know, free falling or like free as can be
Yeah.
as possible.
Yeah, that makes sense. That I definitely like I'm not quite that adventurous, but there are some things it's just like, you know what, just go with it and see how it
Yeah.
goes. Yeah. Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's cool. But I saw those balloons and I was like, hey, I know that area.
Yeah.
So yeah, I even had there were a couple times one landed like right outside of where I was living at my place, like outside by the grass.
Oh,
And
that's
it's like,
so cool.
yeah, like good thing you didn't land on top of the roof or
I
something.
know. And then we turned on the news to watch
Mhm.
people like catching the balloons, seeing where they went because we couldn't believe how high they go.
Right.
And poor balloons, some of them hit power lines. I think
Hmm.
people did. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there's definitely some risk obviously with that kind of thing, but
Hmm.
no, it's really cool to just see, all the shapes and I don't know. And then even
Color.
here, yeah, and even hearing like the flame when they like turn it on or whatever, like
Hmm.
that's kind of a cool sound too. But
Yeah. Well, seeing them all light up in the
yeah.
dark, that's also really pretty to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they usually do well, like early dawn and then like nighttime. I think they try to do both where they
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah, I think they do.
it's a cool experience to
Mhm.
like at least once I feel like people should see the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. So
Yeah, and they have buses that will transport you from the really gravelly parking lot that
yes.
we parked in, and we didn't realize there was, obviously handicap parking closer, parked where we parked, and then found there were multiple buses that will get you up there nice and close.
And those could actually accommodate your power chair and everything.
I actually didn't fly my power chair.
Oh, okay.
I did my manual chair. With traveling, I find that that's easier.
Right.
Although I'm not as mobile, like going place to place, like someone definitely has to push me.
Yeah.
Don't have special wheels. They're just normal. But if you were in a power chair, you could easily just like crush it, like go right through.
Yeah. And what's so hard about that too is there's so many things that can get broken on the power chairs. And I mean, it's just, there's so many other steps involved that if you can do the manual chair, like that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
But that's cool though that you're, still kind of going and doing those kind of things, like not really letting things slow you down, or at least it slows you down, but it doesn't stop you, I guess, is the way to
yeah.
put it. Yeah.
Next is Europe. Like I am dying to go abroad to Europe. It's just planning, caretaking, like who is strong enough to lift me, help move me in case we get stuck in a pickle. So
and I mean, you need to at least have some kind of plan in place for that for sure, because the alternative is being stuck and nowhere to go, basically.
Exactly. I mean, it can get scary to a point, like in those situations.
Yeah.
But just try to, plan for all possibilities. Plan for something going wrong or something missing.
Or something falling off your chair even, or like, I don't know. It's like you try to envision all the nightmare scenarios that could happen and avoid it. So
always pack, what are they called? What are those little wrenches?
Oh, the Allen wrenches for like
always pack an Allen wrench, because even the other day I was out, we had our 15-year high school reunion.
Oh, nice. I was
just at the bar and my whole arm just fell off. I was like,
and it's not like you can just,
I'm like, I don't even know what to do. But luckily guys I was with, they're like, no problem, got it back on, didn't have to worry about it. I was like, whew.
Thank goodness. The cool part is too, like I don't know if does your Permobil have a like kind of the Allen wrench, like I think it's built into the seat, I want to say.
What?
I know I've used one that was like, it's in the very back. There's like this huge long Allen wrench to help adjust. I don't know if it's every model, but
shut up.
Yeah.
Okay, if it is, okay, we're gonna have to look for it, because
I was gonna say you might want to check.
I have 2 sets of Allen wrenches that don't necessarily fit exactly. We're stripping some of the screws, but okay, in the back, like under the cushion or what?
No, I think it's in the backrest, if I'm not mistaken. Like it's kind of like tucked. There's like a little slot for it, kind of in that plastic area on your backrest, in the very center.
Oh, okay. I envision what you're saying.
Yeah, and I feel like it's standard with all models, but it might not be. So I don't know, but yeah, it's handy if yours has that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have to look for that for sure.
Yeah. It's all those kind of little things help, it seems like. So I actually wanted to, obviously I think we can talk about different things for a while, but just a couple more items I wanted to ask you about your kind of experience with any ableism or stigma surrounding that since you've been in, your chair, and like how you've adapted or dealt with any of those kinds of things, with like society obviously still treats disability very different most of the time.
Yeah, that is very true. I would say I am fairly lucky that I haven't ran into that. I mean, you do get the times where people, instead of talking to me, they'll talk to my family. Unintentionally, my family members will answer for me and I have to yell. I can do it myself.
I got this.
Yeah. I mean, I did rely on them and I would look to them at the beginning when I was injured, just because like you're down, don't want to talk.
Right.
So maybe it was adjusting for them, but speak up now. I'm like, hello, I'm right here.
Right. Yep.
But I do see it quite a bit on Instagram, more than I've experienced it in my own life. But I mean, it's not like I go outside of the house a lot. So that really aids to me not experiencing it.
That's a good point.
Not being on public. There was an instant though in Arizona where I was at a restaurant and the bar had a cutout for wheelchairs, which was super cool. But the bartenders there were using that as a to-go window and they let me sit to the side.
Yeah.
And when my stepdad came, I was like, yeah, come, just like pull up a chair. That's literally what this bar is made for. And the bartenders were like, no, you can't do that.
Really?
Like, this is our to-go window. If you want, you can go to the other side where there's a cutout but with that cutout, they had all their computers stacked in front of it.
Of course.
So like, no.
Yeah.
And that was probably the biggest one that I've ever experienced. And I cried. I went to the restroom and I cried. And it was just like, it was not a great feeling.
Right. Yeah. And then that's just an example of, I mean, there's so many things like that that happen, and it's just sort of written off, I think, by the people like, well, for the bar, like them using it for their other things besides the original, intention for the location. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
constantly having to push even for the things that are supposedly for making it accessible, you're still having to fight to get, to have those things. So
Yeah.
it's a challenge, and I'm not sure it's ever going to completely go away, but yeah, it's just yeah, like using our voices and speaking up and trying to like draw attention to
Yeah.
changing that kind of stuff is a big deal.
I know. And I tried to like, I kind of yelled at the bartender, not like
Yeah.
actually yelled, but I'm like, I just told him, I'm like, what do you mean? This is literally what I was built for. And then he didn't even offer to like pay for a drink or anything. I had to go to
Just
the manager and be like, well, then I couldn't talk.
yeah.
I was crying. He's like, I'll take care of you from here on out. And I was like, okay, well, we're going to finish our drinks and then we're going to go and we're never going to come back.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, that's probably not a place you're gonna go back to very often.
Yeah. And then I shit talking to everyone. So they're like, we boycotting them or what? And I go,
There you go.
yeah.
And that's
we
what it
are.
takes. That's what it takes sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I hate you have to go through that, but it's just like it's inevitable, I think, to a certain extent with
Yeah, it's inevitable.
yeah. Yeah. Well, the kind of the final icebreaker question, I guess you could call it, I was thinking is when you're kind of in a space where you need to decompress or just like completely get away and like put your mind on something as a distraction, something you enjoy, like what's your approach on those kinds of activities?
Exercise.
Hmm.
And I just as before, exercise is a great
Yeah.
way to do it. Outside of that, like I'm still working on it. I've gotten into reading or listening to audiobooks. That has helped quite a
It's a
bit.
good one.
And just getting with friends whenever I can. Like, again, I thrive off of human interaction.
Hmm.
So if I can just be with people, like I love going to restaurants and trying new food and having a drink and just talking
Hmm.
to people.
That's even more fun now than it was before, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just, we're in our 30s. A lot of people have kids. Everyone's starting their new family.
Oh man.
And so it's
Back
just
to the
trying to
comparison thing again, right?
make more. I know, it's just trying to like make some single friends who are available to do things. Like I mean, like I would love to still do stuff with their families, but I get like kids are kids. They're not going to be going to restaurants.
Right. It's a whole different dynamic when there's families and kids, and it's just like, oh man, like you just see your list of single friends to go do things with just gradually shrink, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I want to be in your position so bad.
Yeah. How do you handle that, by the way? Like when you're seeing your friends kind of doing those things and everything, like I know comparison is like you already touched on that, but like is there a way to even deal with that or like still feel like you can pursue those things even if it's later?
Right. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, first and foremost, to have kids, you have to have a man.
Well,
And that
obviously.
is step number one. But I mean, if that's not in the cards, I have thought about
Mhm.
maybe just having a baby by myself,
Mhm.
adoption. I don't know what that would look like, but
Is it something that you're kind of thinking though, like obviously is an option in the future or
yeah, just depending on how life goes.
yeah.
I always dreamt of being a mom
Hmm.
and I love kids. But as I do spend time with my friends who have children, it's like, well, how would I make that work? They're exhausted all the time. And I'm like, bitch, I'm exhausted. And I sleep for 9 hours a night. So
Right,
how
right.
would that work?
And then again, if you are a single parent, an adopt or whatever, like that load almost falls completely on you too, which I
No.
mean it's
Having a
complicated.
disability, in my opinion, is like having a child or two.
It's a good
With
point.
like how you have to pay for things. So like financially, I am a mother of two, living alone.
I love that comparison. That's so good.
Um,
Have you named your disability?
no, yeah, haven't yet.
Or like a gender reveal for your disability,
Oh my
something like
God,
that.
yeah,
Oh, geez.
white balloons.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
But yeah, I mean, I have my moments. You have to cry it out.
Yeah.
Just cry it out. And then I don't know, coming into acceptance, like I have a younger brother and a younger sister yet. So I'm looking at, I'm like,
Hey,
maybe you just have the kids and I'll live next door.
and you get all the
When they get
good
fussy,
aunts
I'll just
time. Yeah,
leave, but I'll be like a second mom. Maybe that's how it's going to work out. I don't know.
it's true.
And
That's
so
very
then it goes
true.
back to the very beginning, just take it a day at a time.
Right, right. And that's, I mean, that's kind of applied to every facet of disabled life anymore, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I know what you mean though about kids. And like that was always something I was very, really serious about doing and interested in. And, now at this point, I do have lucky to have a nephew too. So it's like, well, I kind of get a small bit of the parenting type experience, so that's kind of you take what you can get on that. And it can still be
Mm-hmm.
really, really a great experience too. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And I volunteered at an elementary school,
Okay.
and even that like filled my cup with the little kids.
What was that like with the wheelchair and everything? Like, how was that
Oh,
experience?
so the first day we introduced me, I told them like how I got injured, very
Mhm.
simple. And then we just let them ask questions. And so a lot of them were like, how do you go to the
Oh,
bathroom?
wow.
How do
Very
you open
detailed.
doors? Um, are you dating any, or are you, no, it's, are you
What?
married? And I said, I'm not married, but
These
I am
kids.
dating. And they all gave me a round of applause for trying. And they're like, how do you
Nice.
open doors? I'm like, just like this. And I showed them, gave me a round of applause. They're
Hey,
so sweet.
you're popular.
Yeah, kids
But you're right. Like they have that innocent just curiosity, right? And it's
are.
like,
Mhm.
I don't know how you feel about it, but I almost feel like the younger the kids are, they can work with somebody or be around somebody with disability, like
Yeah,
long term, it's going to be huge.
giving them the exposure I think is
Hmm.
massive.
Hmm.
Like in my small community where I grew up, no one in a wheelchair. I
Right.
like we maybe had a couple disabled people in my high school, but it wasn't much. So you have that stigma from the social,
Right.
like just growing up, what disability is until you're actually in it. And then, yeah, so exposure, especially with little kids, I think is massive.
Hmm. Hmm. I totally agree. Is that something you're going to like try to keep doing with volunteering and like kind of going into those spaces?
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah.
There's only so much time you can
True.
give
Very
with
true.
working. Um, yeah, I'm trying to work it in. I'm trying
Yeah.
to find new hobbies and different things to do because yeah, like even recently I've just been feeling stuck like in these four walls. Like I need to figure
Oh,
out some things that I can do to feel good and feel like I'm living and not just um going through the motion
right.
or whatever.
And that's a good point. And I think that's something that maybe doesn't ever totally go away. Like there's going to be moments it feels like, or maybe that's just my experience, but it's like, you
Mhm.
kind of think, well, for now I'm good. I'm past that. And then sometimes it circles back and you get into that sort of stuck
Wait.
feeling. And
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
It'll be waves for sure.
yeah, yeah, definitely. That's really cool though that you're, sharing your story with kids like that. I think that's a big deal personally. So, but yeah, I sure appreciate your time, Juliana. And if people want to connect and kind of know what you're up to, see maybe your next Halloween costume, like is Instagram kind of your go-to?
Instagram is my go-to. I mean, I'm trying to work on TikToks.
That's a different battle.
Yeah, I don't even know my current name on TikTok. It used to be Juju's Spin on Things,
Hmm.
but my Instagram is my name, Julianna Joe Judith. So
Okay.
find one, you'll find the other, I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll link to the others. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
perfect. That sounds really good. Well, I'm looking forward to sharing our chat with the listeners, and thanks again for coming on.